Peace, 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 peace. This is Light Skin You, aka DJ Super God of Light Skin Television. I feel like I'm on a blog right now. I'm doing it on Instagram Live. I'm transferred to YouTube. I've been sitting back, listening, watching. I'm not going to point out one situation, but I've been seeing this happen a lot, especially during the pandemic. The last three years in battle rap, maybe 3.5 years in battle rap, we got a situation where smaller leagues or upstart battle leagues, they never want to admit that they don't have the budget. Or maybe they don't know they don't have the budget to pull off these cards that they're trying to pull off. Whether they 3-round cards or 1-round cards or a mixture of both. They nickel and diamond. I'm going to break down, in my opinion, the basic minimum budget that you would have to pull off a successful low-tier battle league event with having a quality card and quality performers on the card. We're going to break it down. I got my little small pen and pad here. Make sure this ink works. All right. First of all, you want to have a main event. You want to have a co-main event. And you want formidable names, formidable battle rappers on your card. If it's, just say it's an all 1-round event. I'm not picking on a certain league right now, but what's going on right now has inspired me to speak on it. You have to figure, if you're having a main event and a co-main event, that means you're having a minimum of 4 formidable battle rappers on your card. They want to be treated right. They shouldn't have to run around looking for their own flight. You should offer a flight. Round trip. They want lodging. They don't want a Roach Motel for $39 a night in some rough-ass city. They don't want that. They probably don't deserve a 5-star hotel if it's a small league. You got to admit what you can afford and what you can't afford. So first of all, I don't know what each battle rapper gets. Everyone pretty much negotiates their own deal. They know what they will take, what they won't take. Let's just say it's an all 1-round event. First of all, there's going to be things that happen. There's going to be about 2 battles that ain't happening on every small event card or low-tier league event. They're not happening for one reason or another. You can't foresee it a month ahead of time, 2 months ahead of time, even 2 days ahead of time sometimes. Something ain't going to go right. There's going to be one opponent. All it takes is one opponent not making it to cancel out a battle, and that's 2 people that won't be battling on that one battle. You know what I mean? If you figure if battler A cannot make it for one reason or another, battler B is who's battling battler A. He or she has showed up to the event and pretty much performed all their duties. They showed up, they took the deposit, they got the hotel, they got comfortable, they bought clothes, they might have a little entourage or just some friends join them or drive down. Whatever the situation may be, they showed up. They did what they supposed to do, but they can't battle because rapper A did not show up for one reason or another. So cancel that whole battle out. It's smart to have at least 6 battles on a small card. A minimum of 6 booked. Because 2 of them ain't going to happen, I'm telling you. 20% to 33% of them battles ain't going down at the last second for one reason or another. So you're lucky just to have 4 battles that are actually going down on a card to make it a successful event. So you say battler A is not showing up. Battler B did show up but can't battle. Battler C, at the last second, something went down where they may be close to the venue, but they didn't get their money right, or whatever the situation may be. Battler C at the last second is not battling, or, death in the family, anything could happen. So Battler D, by default, is not battling either. That's 4 battlers that ain't battling on a card with only 12 battlers and 6 battles. Now you down to 4 battles. This is what you have to, it's primary that the main event battle and the co-main event battle must go down. The business must be handled. I'm talking as far as the owners and the league. You figure a formidable name ain't taking less than 4 figures even for a one-rounder. At least $1,000, what I'm thinking. Just to battle. Just to battle. You figure if you're doing good business, 50% on the front end. The deposit, it's got to be at least $500. But you have to have the back end too. You can't be working up the back end and depending on the door and the live stream, none of that. You got to have $1,000 for main event opponent 1. Main event opponent 2 need to be treated the same because they're the main event. Whether if one has a bigger name than the other, it don't matter. They're both formidable, well-known opponents. So you have to have $1,000 in your budget for each one of them just to battle. So that's $2,000 right there. Main event battle, $2,000 minimum just to get them to battle. Flights ain't cheap. Say the battle is in Brooklyn. Main event 1 opponent is in California, Arizona, let's say. You got to fly them out. There ain't no $99 flights nonstop. You know what I mean? Coming out of the West Coast all the way to the far East Coast. Even if you book a month ahead of time. Ain't no $99 round trip flights. Ain't no $199 round trip flights. You figuring upon, if you get a good deal, $350 up to maybe $700 to $800 round trip. You might as well just say with the hotel and everything, if you're getting them a decent hotel or at least an upscale motel close to the event, you know, and you're not going to be driving them or nothing. You probably ain't gonna be transporting them. They got to get an Uber or rent a car or hitch a ride or jump in a cab. You might as well just say $1,000 comfortably to satisfy one main event battle rap as far as lodging, flight, transportation to and fro the event. You know what I mean? You might want to feed them, whatever. To treat them right, you're going to have about $2,000 in your budget for one MC. Then you have to have the same for his or her opponent. That's $4,000 right there. Your co-main event, you might as well figure upon the same, if not less. We're just going to say the same. $4,000 for the first event, for the first battle. $4,000 for the second battle. You got $8,000 in your budget right now that you're going to have to spend just to have 2 good battles. You know what I mean? And if you cover that, you've done your part. Now the battlers got to show up, be prepared for that little one-rounder, be ready and give you a good performance. They got to do their end of the deal. They knew it was a one-rounder. They ain't expecting no $25,000, $40,000, Murder Mook $80,000, Cassidy $100,000, $200,000 purse. You know what I mean? For a battle like that. It's a one-rounder on a small, low-tier upstart league with some good young owners that's trying to get the job done. You know what I mean? So if they're doing the right thing, they're going to have at least $8,000 for 4 MCs to give you 2 solid battles that'll be the primary part of the card. When you see the flyer, it'll make people want to come out, hopefully, respectfully. So then you have to book 4 other battles, excuse me. With the third battle, you might want to have a nice female matchup. You figure upon a one-rounder. If they're not big name females, but they formidable, you know what I mean, and they making moves and they trusted MCs, trusted opponents to come and give you a great show, a great showing, a prepared showing, and be entertaining, to say the least. You figure on a few $100 just for them to battle for one round, each of them. That's about $1,000 right there. Then you got to treat them right, like you treated the main event and the co-main event MCs. Got to get them a decent hotel, and even if you don't fly them in, if they're not coming from more than 600 miles, if they decide to drive 2 hours, 4, 6 hours, you know what I mean, that costs too. You know what I mean, however they want to do it, but you have to have that worked out. Even if you don't have a said contract, a professional contract for the third battle, at least have some type of working verbal agreement, you know what I mean, established where we're going to take care of your lodging and your travel, whether you drive or you know, a short flight or an inexpensive flight. We're going to get it 30 days ahead of time. You should have contacted the battlers at least 45 days ahead of time about the event, even before you put out the card. 30 days ahead of time, you should be taking care of their travel fee. So let's just say a few $100s, couple $100, few $100 for each MC. It's going to be about 1,000. A few hundred to battle, a few hundred to have them right for each MC of the third battle. So you're looking at another 500, another 5. That's another 1,000. So you got 4,000 invested in the main event, about 4,000, maybe a little less, invested in the co-main event, the third battle, which is going to have a couple formidable mid-tier names, maybe some upper low tiers. Might be a female battle, like I said, it might be a 2-on-2, whatever. But that's going to cost you about 1,000. Now the budget is up to 9,000 to comfortably pull off three battles. Now your battle number 4 might be 2 locals or 2 people that's hitters in your league that live close to where the event is being held. They can drive themselves there. They can get a ride. They can roll with their crew or whatever the situation may be. They might not need lodging because they're from that area. That's cool. Now you can afford to give them a few hundred for a one-rounder. They good. So we figure maybe 600 or less for battle number 4. Battle number 5 and 6. 5 might be a battle where somebody will just they might take 150 just for the look. You know what I mean? Get themselves there, and the other person might do the same. They might know they're not the biggest names, but they up and coming, or they've been around for a while. They know the ceiling. They just want to get paid for the event. They not working for free. That might cover a couple $100 more. Between battle number 4 and 5, you might have spent another 1,000. Now we up to 10,000. Battle, say the last battle on the card, which I guess is battle 6. Battle 6, they working for free. These are 2 people you might have added last minute or 2 weeks before or after the flyer comes out or while the flyer is coming out. Just 2 people that need to look, that ask to be on your league, let's say. You add that extra battle. They battle for free. They get themselves there. There's no contract and nothing. You just expect them to be there. That is your insurance battle in case 1 or 2 of these battles that you pay good money for don't go down. At least you're not shortchanging the people who attended your event, who are believed in you enough to spend money to come see it or buy the pay-per-view or VOD or whatever you're doing the video. These are people that spent good money and they expected the card to be exactly the way you laid it out on the flyer. So now you figuring you spent about $10,000. We're looking at about $10,000 to make the battlers feel comfortable, get them there safely and back, and to pay them up front and on the back end once they show up, you know what I mean, and give you the performance for their performance. You know what I mean? We got 10,000. Now you got to look at it like this. You got to rent the venue. If it's a low budget venue or you got the hookup, might be a few $100s for that night for 4 or 5 hours. And, you know, being at that venue, or it might be a high scale venue, might be 4 figures, $1,000-$2,000. I don't know. Let's just say, to be safe, let's give it a ballpark figure of another another 1,000 to rent out the venue. Pay your little low budget DJ that ain't got turntables. You know what I mean? He pushing buttons on a little controller. You know what I mean? Doing what you could do at home. You can pretty much, you really don't need a DJ, but you know, these people feel like they need DJs at these events, playing the same old 6 or 7 songs. Let them do that. They get a couple $100. You had to pay for the venue. Now you got to pay for good footage. You got to have a good camera crew, not that one cameraman on his little Galaxy phone. You know what I mean? You're going to have to pay a good crew if you're doing a live stream or VOD, or just for good footage to put out on YouTube within weeks. You know what I mean? So that's a few $100 more minimum. If you're really putting some money out, that'd be another 1,000. Let's just say $1,500 to $2,000 for audio, video, and renting out the space. Now we up to about minimum $12,000 budget. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna have to have the other nicks and knacks like food, drink, beverage. Maybe you want to make some money at the bar if there's a bar. You know what I mean? Selling merch, whatever. You have to put money in to make money. So you just hope to break even with that, or to make a profit. So now you look at maybe $12,500. Let's just give you a ballpark figure. $13,000 is what you need to have already. You have to have this type of capital to have a decent event. If you're a small league, if you're trying to step it up and have some names on it, the card looks good on Facebook. The card looks good on Instagram, on Twitter. You know what I mean? It looks good on YouTube. You got to promote the hell out of it. You know what I mean? But it all looks good. But do you have the budget? You don't want all these headaches later on. Oh, I paid him this up front and he also wants that and he missed his flight. All that shit's going to happen anyway. You're going to have a bunch of confusion. At least if you're the league owner or the person promoting the event, the promoter, whatever you may call yourself, you have to have at least $13,000 for shit to go smooth. At least so you can say you did your part if things fall apart. You know what I mean? It's great to have contracts, and I believe that you should have verbal agreements and you should have something written too. Signatures if possible. If not, if you're doing it off the muscle, you know what I mean? Man to man, man to woman, woman to woman agreements. Have your end covered. You know what I mean? Have your $13K. If you can't afford, if you don't have $13K to spend, you don't need to have battle rap events. And if you do have battle rap events and you don't have that, keep it low tier, where you're not paying anyone or not paying too many people, or just do what you can afford. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool the public. Don't fool the battle rap community. If you can't pull it off yet, you're not in that tax bracket yet. It's cool. Ain't nobody judging you. We didn't expect it anyway. We got thousands of leagues across the world. Over 1,000 in this country alone. About 200 that we know of, you know what I mean, or heard of. About 50 of them that are prominent. We got plenty of leagues. That's not the problem. Plenty battle rap events going down every weekend. Enough in your area, no matter where you're from, you can find a battle rap event at least twice a month, somewhere in driving distance from where you're from. You in certain areas like Los Angeles, let's say, parts of Carolina, definitely New York City, definitely Atlanta. We got something every week in the state of Georgia. Like every weekend is a battle rap event. There's at least 15, 20 leagues that come through here or already established here that's having some type of event. And I know, if not all, most of these owners and promoters, they don't go above their budget. They do what they can afford. That's why they can afford to have multiple events per year, or some of them maybe even a dozen events. You know what I mean? Because they know their budget. They know what they're capable of. And, you know, they don't bite off more than they can chew, so to speak. And I think a lot of these upstart leagues and these low-tier leagues that are not experienced in this shit, don't embarrass yourself and end up all over these bloggers' platform looking crazy because you don't know the business and you're inexperienced. You can't even defend yourself if you don't know the business. Now, the other half of that is the actual battle rappers that fall victim to this, I don't always want to call it bad business, but this business that goes awry, this business that falls flat, where they don't perform, or they weren't paid enough, or they didn't get all their money, or what the right arrangements or whatever, what have you, didn't go right. These battle rappers, you're putting yourself in that predicament when you don't know much about a league or its owner. You just want the bag, or you need to look, or you just trying to do them a favor, so to speak, and squeezing another battle into your busy life schedule and your busy battle schedule, and you don't have all the particulars, and they're not taking care of you up front. You're not a diva if you need what you need. You're not going to like take a few $100s for a one rounder as far as your deposit, expecting the back end to be the same, if not more, and not have a flight or a way there. If you're in Los Angeles, to say, and the battle is in Los Angeles, you don't need all that shit. You coming from the crib, you pull up, you rap, have a little fun afterwards, and you go home. But if the event is in Houston, Texas, and you flying from LA, you're going to need that flight. They should book the flight. The promoters or owners need to book your flight under your name with their credit card or their debit card or whatever, however they pay. They pay for it, but the ticket is in your name, but they paid for it. So if they need, and they should get a, when they buy these round trip tickets for you, they should have some type of out, some type of insurance on the ticket where if you call out the last second or you miss your flight or about to miss your flight, they will be smart to let you know, or fair to let you know, that you won't be making it, so they can hopefully get some type of refund back. You know, on what they spent to get you there. You know what I mean? Same thing with the lodging. Have some type of refund. You know, spend a little extra money so you don't have to lose money when these MCs, for one reason or another, are not making it to the battle. Have yourself covered, but have them covered initially. Have them covered as far as you pay for everything up front. They need to see receipts. They need to have some type of confirmation that they're going to be staying in X hotel on X date, and have the address, and know that they got to know that they're taken care of. You know what I mean? As far as flight, hotel, they got to see the proof, man. They want some receipts, and they should be owed receipts. And this is 30 days before the event even go down. In a perfect world, all this shit should be taken care of for the MCs. Make them comfortable. Make them feel comfortable. Hey, I'm traveling. I know where I'm going. I know what flight I'm taking. I know what airline. I know what hotel I'm staying in. I can look it up on the internet and see what's close to the to where I'm being lodged at. You know what I mean? Especially for the females, they might want to, they might want to get an outfit or get their hair done somewhere in the area. Whatever the situation, nails done. They might want to get glammed up the night before, the morning of the battle. And they want to know their location so they can plan all this stuff out. You know what I mean? Have some type of route about their day. Same thing with the men. You know what I mean? They might want to go out and, buy some fit, at the local mall. Whatever the situation may be. Make these people feel comfortable ahead of time. Have your business, have it solidified weeks ahead of time for yourself if you're the owner or the promoter, and for the battlers, for the performers. That's all I'm saying. Have 13K. If you ain't got 13K, you're not having a big event. Keep having your small events until you're ready to have that big. Don't force that shit. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses if you can't. It's okay. There's a million of these battle leagues. All y'all can't be the number 5 battle rap league in the world. You know what I mean? Overnight. It's not going to happen, man. Now, you can have good quality cards. What you really need to do is get some better relationships. This is the problem, I think, with smaller leagues or upstart leagues. You don't know the rappers personally. That's where you're at a disadvantage. Even a good amount of the better media that's out there in the field, out there in the trenches, we know the MCs for the most part. We got a good rapport with many MCs. We can probably help you. I've done it many times. I'm not patting myself on the back. I've helped a whole lot of smaller leagues and upstart leagues actually book these MCs. And I never asked for any type of finder's fee or nothing, just out of the love of hip-hop. We got a better rapport than a lot of you smaller league owners. You don't know these people, so it's hard. You don't know who to reach out to. You don't know if they have a manager. It's hard to reach out. They don't know if you scamming, or you might think they scam. You don't have these relationships, and that's what's hurting you. You got to get more involved in this battle rap circle, in this battle rap community. You want to have an event, but you don't know nobody. You might know a few MCs and a few other owners and one or two people, vital to the media. And you don't really know a lot. Like, you're trying to make money, you're trying to get in, but you got to I'm just saying you got to rub some elbows. You got to get to know some people. That'll probably be more advantageous for you to do before you try to have bigger events. Before you try to have bigger events, you need to get to know more people and make your league more known. Like, when this stuff blows up real bad and the media and the fans get to see it, as far as owners, the leagues having janky events and jankily promoted, so to speak, it blows up real bad because they like, who the hell's this owner? I never heard of him. These people don't know you, so get yourself known out there. You know what I mean? If you've had battles in the past and events in the past, promote them better after the event is done too. Like, you know, get active on the internet. Like, start pushing your battles more. I see the better leagues, the mid-tier and low-tier leagues that are formidable and well-known and do great business, and the ones that rappers seem to frequently go back to and join their events. They do a lot of self-promoting, and the fans like will buy their live stream or will sit down on YouTube and watch, you know, lesser known battles from their events. They'll watch all the battles when they come out because they respect the league. They respect the owners. They may know the owners personally. They may know people involved behind the scenes. You got to get yourself as known as the rappers are known. You know what I mean? You can't be anonymous and running these leagues and then we only find out who you are and see your face or hear about, or, you know, hear you interact with the battle rap community after there's some type of tragic shit that went down or didn't go down with one of your events. You know what I mean? That's not the way to get known. You should be trying to get known better before you have these big events. You know what I mean? So I'm not against small leagues trying to have bigger, better events, but just be ready, man. Don't have a $2,300 budget and trying to book an event that requires $13,000 or $30,000 worth of capital. If you don't have the capital, you're not going to pull off a successful event 99 times out of 100. You might get lucky that 1% of the time, but more than likely you are not going to have that go down like that. You know what I mean? But that's all I got to say about that, man. Stop embarrassing yourself, leagues. Battle rappers, stop embarrassing yourself by being involved in leagues, being involved in events that you know ain't look janky, ain't gonna go down right. You know what I mean? And if you do want to take that chance, get all your arrangements and money up front. You should not have to pay for your own flight. You should not have to pay for your own hotel. If you're a formidable name that has not been doing that in the past with bigger leagues, don't, my opinion, don't do too many favors for these small leagues. Make them earn it. Work with them. You know what I mean? Cut them a break to a point, but don't trust them if you don't know them. You don't know these people. Not saying they're trying to do bad business or they're bad people in general, but if they look like and sound like they don't know what they're doing, they probably don't know what they're doing. I'm not saying stay clear of them. Have them take care of you before you agree to the battle. Make sure you got your lodging taken care of already, your round trip flight, and your front end, your deposit. And then when you show up and perform without choking, of course, give them a good performance. Come there and write ahead of time. Don't be writing the day before the event. You know what I mean? Have your round right. Have your round complete. Come there, give them a good performance, and then get your back in. There should be nothing for nobody to be crying about. You showed up. You rapped. You formidable job. You got your back in. They should have no problem giving you your back in like they gave you your deposit. And league owners, spend the money up front for them names. You want a name? You want names? You got to spend for names. You might not spend with KOTD, Smack URL, RBE, Chrome 23, GTX. You know what I mean? Even King Bao. You might not spend the type of money they spend, but you have to have something noteworthy to give these people as far as monetarily. You got to give them their money. You know what I mean? I'm long-winded, but I think I explained myself pretty well. I don't have the greatest articulation, but I think it's good enough where everyone could understand and overstand and understand exactly what I meant. You know what I mean? League owners, small league owners, have your ass $13,000 in your bank account minimum if you're trying to have an event with at least 4 good names on it. That's not asking a lot. You got 4 big names, 2 more formidable names, you got 3 battles. If you want a card, fill it. Don't, you know what I mean? With the rest of them, get 6 more battlers so you can have 6 battles, because more than likely 2 of them fuckers ain't going down. You know what I mean? You're lucky to just pull off 4 good battles at a small league event or upstart league event. You got to book 6. You got to spend good money for 2 or 3 of them. That's just what it is. Have 13 to 13K. That's the 13K theory. That's the theory I made up. If you ain't got $13,000 to spend up front on a battle rap event with formidable names, and you plan to have a live stream and a pay-per-view, don't do it. Before we leave, let's break, that's why I got this pen and pad. Let's break down how you're going to recoup. Now, you done spent $13,000. I don't know what kind of recruitment that you expect, but you know, you got to be realistic about that too. Like, what type of money did you expect to make from this event? You spent $13,000. Now, let's break it down. It's supposed to be a small league event that's trying to, or upstart league, it's trying to upgrade and get better by having a bigger event. At the door, tickets, let's say, whether it's up front, at the door, $40, $40 to $75. You're not a big league, so we'll just say $30. $40 at the door. Let's say $40. You're lucky to get 100 heads in there that's going to pay. Lucky to get 100 fans in there. Let's be honest. Even if you have 250 in the building, you got entourage. You done let this person in. I know this person. Come on, this fine sister right here. You don't want her to pay because you trying to get with her. Whatever the situation is, I see a lot of people slide in there and didn't pay to these small league events. So you're lucky to have 100 people that actually paid to get in. So let's say 100 times 40. That's $4,000 profit from tickets. Let's be honest. If you only had 100 or 200 people show up to the event, more than likely your viewership of people watching a live stream or pay-per-view is not even going to double the amount of people that's not there. So you're lucky to have, let's say, 300 people, if you're lucky, bought that live stream. That live stream ain't going to be no $50 if the tickets was $30 to get in. Your live stream probably more than likely is going to be about $25 maximum. I want to say 20. I'm going to give you 25. 25 and 200 people ordered the live stream. I ain't talking about the people that bootlegged it and so forth, so on. So we're looking at, say you did make $5,000 off the live stream, $4,000 at the door, concessions, other things. Let's just round it off. Say you made $10,000. You generated $10,000. Long term, you put all the battles on YouTube. Say you had a great event and all the battles was fire. They was hot. You put it on YouTube. You got 6 different battles. The main event, if you're lucky, if it's really great, say after about a half a year that it's been out on YouTube, it got 100,000 views. I'm gonna be realistic with you. 100,000 views on YouTube. If your channel has to be established, first of all, you have to have over 1,000 viewers and thousands of watch hours and what have you. If your channel's already established, your league channel is established, you're being monetized. If it's not, that's bad. You're not even being monetized for these battles, man. You ain't getting no money off of watching these battles because there's no commercial time on these battles. So I'm just going to give you a ballpark figure. Just say with the advertisement, 100,000 views may get you, if you're lucky, it might get you a few $100s. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It might get you, let's just say $500 for your main event. Your co-main event might have got, let's say, 50,000 views after half a year. Might have got you a couple $100. Let's just say $200. Let's just say with all 6 events, all 6 battles on the card, you'll be lucky to clear $1,000 worth of YouTube revenue. Like I said, it's not the major leagues where they, you know what I mean, they're putting out, they giving you 8 events a year with about 60 battles that dropped on YouTube or more, averaging about 80,000 views per battle or more. You know what I mean? Some of them leagues, man, they might mess around and get, I'm just giving you a ballpark figure. Some of them bigger leagues might, within the course of a year, may have got, let's say about 15 million views just from battles alone that they uploaded. And those 15 million views might have got them $75,000 to $100,000 or more worth of revenue. Just say they got 6 figures. They might have been lucky to make anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million worth of revenue off of, you know, uploading the battles later. You know what I mean? After they got the live streaming pay-per-view money or app money or whatever. So they're lucky to make $1 million, a lot of them, off of all the battles that they uploaded. So you can imagine a small league is not even getting fractions of that. Just fractions of that. So, okay. We made $10,000 off the live stream and at the door. We're lucky to make $1,000 after a half a year off of that event, just off of YouTube. You might have made $11,000 off this event in hindsight after a half a year, 6 months, let's say. We look back at this event that you had in April, maybe in October. You find out that, yo, I made $11,000 off that event, but you spent $13,000 in that budget for it to go smooth. You didn't even recoup. You lost $2,000 just to pat yourself on the back and say, yo, we had a dope event. That's what this business is. You know what I mean? You may not break even. You may not make $1. You may only make a few $100s off of each event when the smoke clears. So is it worth it? You know what I mean? Where's your return on investment? You doing it for the love, like most people do hip hop for the love for the last 40-something years. You know what I mean? 99.9% of us is not going to be millionaires. We ain't going to get rich off of hip hop. We do it for the love. We hope to get paid. We plan to make a living out of it if we can, but realistically, I just broke it down to you with an upstart league or a low-tier small league trying to have a bigger event, trying to show out what goes, if it goes smoothly, this is only if it goes smoothly, how it's going to go down monetarily. You'd be lucky to make that money back. It's just what it is, you know what I mean? Unless you find another loophole or just study the craft or get to know the movers and shakers that do make it happen and do make big profit off of this. You know what I mean? You might want to not so much copy their game plan or, you know, respect the architect. You know, look how they architected. You know, it's hard to get ahead if you don't know what the hell's going on. You got to do your research. You got to do your homework. You got to take some losses at times. But, you know, to step up your game as a league owner, as a promoter of these smaller battle leagues, man, it's hard, man. You got to have the connections. You got to have the personality for this shit, too. You can't be an asshole. You can't be jerking people. You can't let people jerk you. It's got to be some type of balance. This is hard, man. And if you don't deliver and you talk a whole lot of shit, the media's going to eat your ass up. But on the other end, if you defy the odds and pull off miracles, the media be in your favor. That's how the media rolls, especially bloggers. You know what I mean? They gonna love you. Like, yo, you know, this small league, you got to look out for them. They had a few big battles with great replay value. It's what you make of it, but you better have that budget. The 13K theory. Yeah, it's better have $13,000 to have a decent event. Light Skin You, Light Skin Television. I'm out. Peace.